Could you give me a minute, Atlanta?
Why is that? Has anything happened?
Have you given any thought to wedding someone but Flex?
I have, but... Wait. Didn't you guys just start getting to know one another?
We were, indeed. So, have you heard anything about Flex wanting to call off the engagement?
I'm sorry. There is no chance of it occurring.
If so, how?
Why are you messaging me with this information now? Why do you care so much about ending our marriage?
No, I'm not trying to say that.
Do you simply dislike Flex? Are you of the opinion that he lacks compassion and common sense? You guys welcomed him warmly, so I assumed you and Dad were fine with him.
Of course, we have great thoughts about Felix. Felix is a lovely man, at least in your father's and my opinion.
So, could you please explain your reasoning for wanting Felix and I to call off our engagement? I really plan to marry him and have a wonderful life. Nobody should stand in the way of it, please.
That's all. I was considering proposing to Felix's fiancée, Mary, who is your younger sister.
You're making fun.
I'm not joking, I just felt that Mary was prettier and better suited to Felix, just that.
Huh? Is that all there is? Mom, what are you talking about?
This time, I'll just be frank with you. For me, will you please cancel your engagement to Felix? I want you to offer your sister Mary your fiancé Felix.
Again? Did you experience head trauma?
Felix and Mary will now be engaged. Mary can marry as a result of it. You ought to comprehend, after all, you are an elder sister.
Hold on, I truly don't understand what's happening. Why do I have to leave my fiancé behind? As I already mentioned, Mary is quite attractive and would compliment Felix much more than you do. Have you ever thought about Felix's feelings and thinking? Isn't it strange to have to selfishly break up with your fiancé?
It should be all right if that's the only thing you're concerned about. Felix won't be against it, so I'll try to reach a compromise with him.
He's my fiancé, therefore there's no way in hell he'll agree.
Mary is so adorable that everything will turn out in the end since every man in the world would want to wed her.
Do people's lives even matter to you if you think it shouldn't be allowed for individuals to just call off their engagement?
There were no complaints when we addressed this at family meeting.
How would you define a family gathering? We had one, right? Do you mean to say that my dad also approved of this?
All this time, I've been trying to tell you. The marriage of Mary and Flex has already been chosen.
I find what I'm hearing to be unbelievable.
From point forward, their love will blossom. If you get in the way, it will be an issue, so refrain. Please stop disturbing their romantic nest so frequently, okay?
Are you crazy, you idiot? Did I ever consent to calling off our engagement?
When I talk to Flex, he'll undoubtedly comprehend. If you could cut it off right away, it would be more beneficial.
I'm not able to accomplish it. I'm not going to call off our engagement in any manner.
You still have the ability to say that. I eagerly anticipate your favorable response.
Pause for a moment. I said that I didn't want it. Mother? Mom!
Hey, Atlanta. I have something to tell you.
What's up? Could it be that my mother bugged you into leaving me?
Oh, you made a good point. I've been getting a lot of texts from your mother, which is a little frustrating.
I was aware of it, and I deeply regret what my mother is doing.
No, you shouldn't apologize. That's not your responsibility.
Yeah. And? How did my mom put it?
She said, I want you to break up with Atlanta and marry her little sister Mary, or maybe like we're getting ready for you two to live together. She already has the marriage license ready, so they're pushing me up against a wall. Your mother said that as long as you sign that paper, I will prepare all the rest.
How can my mother do this? The two families have already talked to each other. How can she take it as a joke of hers? She's causing so much difficulty. I can't believe it. Flax, I'm very sorry for giving you so much hassle.
You are not to blame because you did nothing wrong, as I have previously stated.
That could be the case, but my parents swapped contact information as you were introducing yourself at my house the other day. It wouldn't have come to this if I had just stopped for a moment.
Only out of desire did I exchange numbers with her. I assumed I needed her contact information so I could check in with her.
Message her to check in? How could you possibly need to?
Do you mind the time I visited your home and spent some time in the restroom? Actually, it was your mother who expressed her love for me.
Yes, she continued praising your sincerity in front of me.
After that, Mother started gushing about how adorable your sister Mary was and how much better I fit her. She wanted us to talk more about the time I broke off my engagement and wed Mary.
My mom would go to that extent.
I made an attempt to decline by letting her know that I was already engaged to Atlanta, however. Don't worry, she assured me, she has already spoken to you about calling off the engagement. We soon heard you enter, and there was when the talk came to a stop. It's weird to believe that she genuinely wanted me to call off the engagement and wed Mary instead.
Isn't it odd that she wanted to replace your fiancé without taking into account your feelings?
Yes, it truly is. I wouldn't want to marry anybody else than you, Atlanta. I debated whether or not to tell you the entire time. I didn't anticipate it getting to this point. I apologize sincerely for not notifying you sooner.
That's how things were. Simply said, changing your fiancé against your will is absurd.
You are accurate. I kept trying to tell her that, but she insisted that I marry Mary despite my repeated attempts.
I had just sent my mom a message. I continually told her that I didn't want to, but she wasn't paying any attention.
Your mother appears to be concentrated on getting her way all the time. What are we hoping to accomplish here?
I see now. Flax, why don't you look for a place to hide for a little while? They'll probably break in if they learn where you live.
You are correct in that. I'll try talking about that with one of my friends who is a freelancer and ask him if I may stay over for a while.
Would that be okay? That would be fantastic.
I want to discuss it with him. He's a decent man, so I know he will comprehend. I also work remotely, so I'll be comfortable working from any location. There won't be any pressure from a business, and everything will be okay.
I'm glad to hear you haven't encountered Mary before, but please be cautious about any woman you come across.
Oh right, I have a nice notion, I'll be careful for that reason.
What is it? Oh!
At the end of this month, my lease on my flat expires. I could take the chance to relocate someplace, for example.
That seems like a really good concept. But wouldn't that be difficult? What about you?
As soon as I get married and move into my next apartment, I want to live there with you. Hey, why don't we choose a location together?
Yes, please.
I believed it would have been pleasant for us to share my existing flat, however. This would be a wonderful opportunity to begin a new life with your partner.
Yes, I would love for this to somehow become really interesting.
I'll start looking for an apartment the following week if it's decided. I'll be staying at my friend's house while I look for a new home for us to reside. Everything is all right.
I want to express my regret for everything. But I'm glad to hear that you're looking for an apartment that we can both live in.
Yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. That settles it, then.
I'll let you know straight immediately if my mom and Mary experience any unforeseen changes.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'll let you know if something unfortunate occurs to me.
There, take care.
Yes, you as well.
Atlanta, I must admit that you did a good job this time. It appears that you actually ended your engagement with Flex.
Huh? Why do you say that, exactly? I stayed committed to him and didn't call it quits.
What? You have not broken off your engagement to him yet, have you? You persist, don't you?
I previously informed you that I had no plans to call off our engagement. When Flex heard of it, he also declared that he would not call off the engagement.
That won't matter since Mary will immediately steal him away once he realizes how adorable she is.
You may say that, but they haven't even spoken to each other yet, right? Nevertheless, why do you desire their marriage so badly? You weren't present when I announced my engagement at the home, and you said you had plans.
I snapped a picture of Flex while you were out of your seat, just in case.
You believe they will get hitched based just on a picture?
That is not at all how I feel. I only wanted to inform Mary of his appearance. However, my preparations to visit Flex's house and arrange for Mary to meet him are going well.
You visited Flex's residence, right? How did you determine it while not knowing his address?
I requested assistance from a detective service in discovering his residence.
Why do you say that? Investigative agency? You sent a detective to follow Flex?
Stalking? I didn't do that. It's a bad way to phrase it. After all, he refused to provide me his address despite my repeated requests. I hired a detective because I believed it would be the quickest way to learn where he lives.
I can't believe it. You'd go to that extent to arrange for Flex and Mary to wed.
What will I do to you too if you don't intend to call off the engagement as well?
Why do you say that?
For over a month, Flex and Mary have shared a home.
What? Living together, what the hell are you doing?
It seemed to have been love at first sight. After almost a month of getting to know one another better, they moved in together. Since Mary left home, she has been absent for more than a month.
No way is that true. You are lying.
Mary's beauty will make any guy fall in love at first sight. You are aware that Mary is regarded as the most attractive woman in this area, right?
You're telling me that I'll lose Flex to her?
I have been stating that. It has been agreed that you will end the engagement as a result. If you get it, stop moaning and fussing and leave the situation alone.
I see.
You were so obstinate in rejecting my advice, yet in the end, you're rendered mute. I'm sure it won't hurt too bad if you run off quickly.
I now see everything clearly. That implies you don't require the $5,000 each month I've been providing you, is I correct?
You've been sending me $5,000 every month, huh? Well, Mary will also send money to me if I help her with this.
So is Mary your child or mine? Why do you always favor Mary when she's not even your biological child?
Atlanta, you don't need to know about this. You just need to disappear and cut off contact to avoid bothering Felix and Mary.
Well, I've decided not to let you and Mary have what you want just because of Mary's selfishness.
I'm telling you that you must immediately leave Felix as Mom has requested. I hope you listen and obey my words.
Mom, I'm old enough to make decisions about my own love life. I can't give up on my love just because of what Mom, whether it's Mary or Mom, says.
Atlanta, you are my child, and you are not allowed to argue with me. I only want what's best for you and worry about your future.
I know Mom is worried about me, but I also need the right to make decisions about my own life. I have grown up and have the ability to make choices for myself.
But Atlanta, I just want you to avoid mistakes in love and focus on your career. Felix is not the right person for you. Mary is the one who is suitable while you are not. Mary is beautiful, intelligent, and always listens to me unlike you.
I understand your concerns. But I need Mom to trust my choice. I have carefully considered and know that Felix is the person I want to be with. I won't listen to any lies from you.
I cannot agree with your decision. I only hope you understand and follow my advice. I am your mother, and you should respect and heed my words.
I'm sorry, but I can't compromise on loving someone just because of someone else's words. I hope Mom can respect my decision and support me through this process.
I'm not happy with your decision, but I still love and care about you. I hope you will reconsider and think carefully before making any final decisions.
Thank you, Mom, for listening. I promise to think carefully and ensure that my final decision is made based on careful consideration. I decided to move abroad with Felix to work in another company. You don't need to look for me because I won't become the person you want if Mom doesn't stop.
Shut up. Come back here now. Atlanta.
Felix and I moved to Miami, where everyone was so nice that made me forget all the bad things. After 2 years of going back, Mary got married to another man. Mom becomes angry and bitter at not being able to successfully get Mary's money. I decided to stop sending her money because I felt she was too selfish and treated me like her puppet.
Amity! What are you doing right now? Why haven't you arrived at the workplace yet? I told you a million times that you couldn't take today off. How dare you disobey my commands? You're in a lot of trouble right now. Come to the office immediately away before I explode. Right now, I'm going to start counting down. You'd best show up in 30 minutes or I'll have to escalate your punishment. If you wish to continue working here, I recommend you listen to my advice and come over right now. Amity! Are you sure? Are you going to ignore me? Do you really care if I cut your pay, you useless jerk? I told you I'd begun the countdown. Why are you disregarding all of these signals? You have no right to disobey your boss. I can't believe you're acting like this right now. Stop being such a conceited jerk and tell me what the hell is going on.
Egan, what's up? What exactly is going on? You've sent me numerous texts seemingly out of nowhere.
You finally respond! It took you far too long. What are you doing right now?
I'm truly sorry. I had no time to check my phone. Is there a problem?
Did you just ask me if there's something wrong? Obviously, something is wrong. Did you disregard my messages? I was wondering why you decided to skip work today.
There's a reason for this. My mom died the night before yesterday. I'm taking some time off to think about it all and plan her burial. I had already informed Lonnie of the situation, and she had granted me permission to take some time off. Did the message fail to reach you?
Did you do it? Nothing has been spoken about it. Stop making excuses and simply show up to work.
I also informed our department's group chat of my absence. If you need proof, the message was sent at 7:55 a.m.
Why should I have to check my phone at this hour? You should have mentioned that earlier.
So, I'm sorry you missed the notification concerning my absence. I won't be able to get to work today anyway. I'm currently not in our office. I should be able to return by the end of next week. I apologize for taking a whole week off, but I will try to make up for it when I return. I want to hold a video meeting with the appropriate personnel at 10 a.m. today to explain which tasks must be taken over while I'm away. This week has a few critical deadlines, so I'll make sure to explain everything in depth.
What do you mean? That will not be doable. I have some extra tasks for you to complete today.
What is the reason for this? I had already checked with Lonnie, and she had requested that I make the video call.
That's not what I'm referring to. I had planned to have you generate some documents for a tech business with whom we have been in discussions. If you take the day off today, it means I'll have to create the documentation. I can't believe you're going to force me to do this.
I'm sorry, but none of my projects involve any technology businesses. Others in the department, I'm sure, are more fit for that position.
Stop babbling! You do what I instruct you to do. You're really starting to irritate me now. How dare you speak back to me in this manner? Where have your manners gone? I've squandered so much of my valuable time texting you. I'm tired of hearing your excuses. Would you please hurry and get to work?
Sorry, but that's simply not doable. As I previously stated, I am currently preoccupied with matters other than my employment. I have to say, goodbye, now. I'll be really busy from now on, so I may be unable to respond.
Wait! We're not done chatting yet. You must not disregard me. I'll make you pay for this.
Good day, Egan. I apologize for missing work for a week. My mother's funeral is concluded, and I am returning to work today. Do you have any idea what this mess on my desk is?
What do you mean? I don't know. Perhaps it was left as a present for you?
My desk has been adorned with a bouquet of black roses. It reminds me of a golf music video. Is this a nasty joke? Why would somebody do something like this?
That's unfortunate. I'm curious who would do anything like that. I doubt it was someone from this office.
Stop attempting to appear innocent. I already knew it was you.
What? Someone has already given it away?
I heard you were upset with Kiva for attempting to clean it up.
What's the deal with everyone? Why can't they just shut up?
What is your issue? What you did was extremely offensive to me. I'm grieving the loss of my mother. That's a disaster.
Close your mouth. Stop attempting to make me appear terrible when you're the one who unexpectedly took a week off.
Lonnie gave me permission because it was for some crucial personal concerns.
So you took some time off for personal reasons? I believe I misunderstood something. I assumed you didn't show up to work because you had died. That's why I gave you some black flowers.
I told you I was going to my mother's funeral. Take a look at our last week's text messages.
But didn't I tell you to come to work anyway? You should cease prioritizing your personal life over your professional life. I'm your boss, and you should obey every command I issue. Even though I told you to come to work last week, you didn't show up. That meant you died along with your mother, I assumed. You appear to be alive and well right now, which implies you missed a week of work for no apparent reason. I'm firing you for taking a week off.
You're just my supervisor. You do not have the authority to fire me.
I'm actually good friends with the manager of the Human Resources Department. In fact, if you catch my drift, we may be more than just buddies. I can simply get you fired if I want to. All I have to do is go directly to her. You'll be fired before you can say dead mother's funeral.
Even the human resources manager cannot fire an employee arbitrarily. I don't believe you have any reason to fire me. And firing me without pay is immoral and might generate a major problem for the organization.
Please, just shut up. Stop making stuff up. If firing you is going to be difficult, you should simply resign.
What would make me do something like that? It would be completely illogical.
Oh, I just had an idea for why you should be fired. Because of you, those paperwork that required to be generated for that tech business have yet to be finalized.
That is not at all my responsibility. It's your responsibility, and you should have finished it on your own. Perhaps it's your fault for leaving it till the last minute and attempting to impose it on me.
It's not my fault. I assigned you the work, and you completely ignored it. You didn't even try to finish the docs. You've just returned from a week's vacation, which is completely inappropriate. Our company would have lost an essential business partner if I hadn't covered for you and started working on the documentation. We might have lost $30,000 in potential revenue. You must recognize that you made a major error and accept responsibility for it. Inform Lonnie that it is your fault and that you intend to retire as a result.
You're being ridiculous. I'm so sick of having to deal with you. Okay, I'll do as you request. I've decided to leave the company.
Oh, you finally decided to obey my commands. It's time to apologize as well.
No, I will not apologize because I did nothing wrong.
What did you just say?
I'm leaving because of the poisonous work atmosphere I've been subjected to. I can't believe you turned my mother's death into a joke. It was a terrible flavor. Even if it was a joke, you went gone too far with it. I heard that some of our coworkers thought your prank was hilarious. I believe that leaving a location like this would be healthier for my mental health.
Why don't I make you a small gravestone as well? It could be a parting present. I'll give it to you for free because you've been a long-term customer of ours.
That isn't necessary.
Oh, really? I'm sure it'd look lovely with your flowers. Well, now that I know you're going to resign, I don't mind what you say to me. You always got on my nerves and irritated me. Knowing I don't have to see you anymore lifts a great weight off my shoulders.
I had no idea you had such strong feelings for me. Is there any particular reason you found me irritating?
I didn't like how Lonnie kept talking to you. I'm not sure what a youngster like you did to become so friendly with Lonnie. Maybe you bribed her or something, but I know you were just attempting to obtain a promotion that you didn't deserve.
Now I understand. You were merely envious of me. I admired Lonnie and talked to her frequently in order to learn from her.
I don't care what you say any longer. None of that matters because you're leaving regardless. Right now, I can't quit smiling. I believe that my moment has come.
I would quit being so arrogant if I were you. Try to be more cautious in your actions and words.
What do you mean? Stop making me worry because you're envious of me.
So, I'm going to formally quit and leave right now. Then you keep doing what you believe is best for you.
That's fantastic. Don't even think about trying to return. Amity, please stop ignoring my phone calls. Would you please just pick up? I must speak with you immediately. Amity! I insist that you pick up your phone right now.
What is the problem? One phone call is all that is required. Stop bothering me.
What's the matter with you? What have you done, and what have you said about me to Lonnie? Lonnie came to see me after you resigned and was furious. She summoned me to her office, then yelled at me for an hour. She wants me to apologize to you for everything that has transpired. What were your words to her?
I see. I simply told her why I had decided to resign. What's the problem with that?
I'm furious because you withheld secrets from me. Mayor Limited's current CEO is your brother. They are our most essential commercial partner.
He certainly is. What's the point of telling me something I already know? I genuinely don't want to talk to you.
Isn't your late mother the founding CEO of that company? Why didn't you tell me?
I didn't feel compelled to discuss it. In fact, I felt it may cause them some much-needed workplace drama, so I opted to keep it all a secret. That is, until I announced my mother's death in the department's group chat.
I didn't have time to check the group chat, therefore I was unaware of it. I would not have done what I did to you if I had known about it.
It's entirely your responsibility for failing to check the group chat. Perhaps you should pay closer attention the next time. In any case, what you did was wrong. You should never make light of someone's death, regardless of who it is.
It was merely a joke. There will be no hard feelings, you understand.
Lonnie said you were also invited to my mother's funeral, correct? Many of her business partners' executives, including CEOs, were invited to her funeral. You turned down the invitation since you didn't realize it was for the burial of our most significant business partner's CEO.
It was not made clear to me that it was for the CEO. I assumed it was for one of their executives or something. I assumed it would be a waste of time.
Well, I'm delighted you didn't show up. The funeral was planned for those who truly cared about her. She was quite enthusiastic about her profession, and all of her business partners with whom she had a connection showed there, so that's all that matters. I don't care if you don't show up.
That's fantastic news! I guess I'll be forgiven then. What a relief! Could you tell Lonnie you're not upset about what I did to you?
Oh, don't get too excited just yet. You might get some more.
What precisely do you mean?
I'm not going to pursue this with you any further. Lonnie, on the other hand, is unlikely to take your joking about my mother's burial and laying black roses on my desk lightly. I heard she intends to penalize you and the other employees who found your prank amusing.
What did you just say? Is she really going to punish me for such a small joke?
It appears to be so. This incident compelled the Human Resources Department to do a more complete investigation into you to determine whether you were truly qualified for your position. It appears that they discovered numerous other issues with your behavior and the way you operate the department. I'm sure there will be other consequences.
What do you mean? This is getting insane.
I hear you've been bragging about how close you are to the Human Resources Manager. You've used it as a threat at times, haven't you?
Well, I thought that was a wonderful approach to maintain some order within the company.
Some of our coworkers believed your threats and were afraid they would be fired. It's also been producing some uncertainty and unwelcome rumors within the organization. The Human Resources Manager claims she has no relationship with you. Except you've been bothering her recently.
It's because she's quite hot and I like her. That's why I told folks we were really close.
So go sell everything to the compliance officer and Lonnie. There's no need to tell me anything else. I'm not interested. I'm leaving at the end of this month after I've used up all of my paid vacation time.
Are you sure you're not going to return?
Lonnie implored me to reconsider and return to work if feasible. I told her about all of our department's problems. I emphasized that the most serious issue is your bullying and harassment of subordinates. I also mentioned that my brother is beginning to wonder whether he should continue to be a business partner with a company that employs people like you. Lonnie ultimately gave up trying to persuade me to stay and told me she would do her best to remedy all of the difficulties. I'll start working as a department manager at my brother's company next month.
What did you just say? Are you going to be a manager right away?
I'm guessing I'll be in charge of this company's account starting next month. If we decide to continue doing business with you.
That cannot be correct.
My brother needs to talk to me right now, so I need to hurry going.
Please wait a moment. I certainly didn't intend for things to turn out this way. After all, it was just a joke. Could you please forgive me and assure Lonnie that I did nothing wrong? Amity, hello! Stop avoiding me! Please, Amity! I beseech you! Please try to persuade Lonnie to lessen my punishment as much as possible. Hello, Amity, why don't you respond to me? I haven't received any red receipts.
Egan was quickly downgraded to a normal employee. He was transferred to a separate department with no female coworkers. He barely avoided being sacked. He stalked and harassed the Human Resources Manager, and she decided to leave the company because she didn't feel safe. After learning of this, Egan appeared despondent. He ended up not smiling when he moved to his new department. It didn't take long for him to start generating problems at his new job. When one of his coworkers' wives stopped by a happy hour one Friday, he apparently fell in love with her. He ended up pestering his coworker by insisting on his wife's presence at all times and requesting her phone number. This was the final draw, and he was fired from the company immediately. He tried to beg pardon, but he was unable to reclaim his position. I'm not sure what occurred next to him. But his reputation has been completely wrecked, and I'm sure he'll have a difficult time finding another work in this industry. I just received a package from you. Why are you delivering items to our home? Is it to irritate me?
What happened? I didn't mean to irritate you. I gave it to Dorothy as a present. After all, she is my adorable little grandchild.
So you're truly doing this to irritate me. You knew we were ready to move, so you made us transport even more items to our new home. I recently threw out a lot of items in preparation for the relocation. Now you're giving me even more garbage to deal with? I don't have the time.
That was not my objective at all. I was aware that you were about to relocate, so I sent her a small gift. It should not obstruct your mobility in any manner. I also double-checked with Alan just in case. He stated that sending Dorothy a present was okay.
He was merely trying not to hurt your feelings by being kind to you. I'm going to throw it away without opening it. I don't have time to deal with this right now.
Are you serious? You're going to throw it out without even looking inside? I heard she started eating solid meals, so I sent her some cute aprons. If Dorothy isn't going to use it, I don't mind if you throw it away. I simply believe it is terrible to throw it trash without even peeking inside. Also, I'm sure you don't need to inform me that you're discarding my gift.
I'm warning you that I'm going to teach you a lesson. If I don't tell you, you'll keep sending crap.
That is possible. Thank you for informing me. If you're going to tell me this, I'll tell you something else. You haven't come to see us since Dorothy was born. We've only been to see you folks once since she was born. You've warned us not to come back since.
What's the big deal? What are you attempting to convey to me?
I realize you're under a lot of stress and don't have much time after giving baby. Nonetheless, we would want to see Dorothy more frequently. After all, she is our cherished grandchild. Because we're in the midst of a pandemic, you might not want us around her. Still, it would be good to see her face from time to time via video call. I'd also like to send her some gifts.
That's great, I see. You seem to be saying all of this to irritate me. I simply don't have the time to deal with you.
Everything is a misconception. I have no desire to irritate or offend you.
I'm not going to disclose you our new address until we've completed our move.
Are you sure? That is completely unacceptable.
I've always had some reservations about having a mother-in-law. I never got along with my own mother either. Just talking to you like this irritates me.
So it's not really my fault, is it?
It sort of is. Is it okay if you stop talking to my family? I don't consider you to be a member of my family in any way. You get along well with John and his wife, right? Isn't that sufficient? Please leave Alan and me alone.
That's impossible for me. Alan and John are both very important to me. They are both my cherished children. As Alan's wife, I also want to get along with you.
So, please give up since I have no intention of getting along with you. I never intended to be friends with my mother-in-law. You should be glad you're friends with John's wife.
Even though I don't get along with you very well, I still want to see Dorothy. Are you going to prevent me from visiting her as well?
That's probably going to be the case. One of the reasons I wanted to relocate was to hide our address from you.
Isn't that harsh? I didn't hurt you. Alan informed me that your parents have visited you frequently. We live nearby, yet you've only allowed us to visit once. It's a shame because I want to see Dorothy mature.
So, good luck. I don't want you near my family since you're a stranger to me. Oh, I don't mind if you keep sending us money. I appreciate that you send us $800 each month.
Are you certain?
Because money is useful, I don't mind if you send it to us.
How can you be so self-centered? Are you still going to take my money after calling me a stranger?
That's the only way you can help me. By the way, I do spend some of the money on Dorothy. You can only help Dorothy if you send money over every month.
Just talking to you gives me a headache. I'll chat to Alan about it. Have you heard everything Helen has to say?
What exactly are you on about, Mom?
I talked to her today. Did she inform you of it?
I'm not sure what you're referring to. What did you guys discuss?
I'm guessing she hasn't told you anything. She was furious at me because I sent Dorothy a tiny present despite the fact that you were leaving soon. She stated that she will not provide me with your new address once you have relocated.
Are you certain she said that? That is not at all like her. She's never said anything like that to me before. I believe you simply misinterpreted what she was saying. Isn't it tough to express feelings through text messages?
I don't believe it was simply a misunderstanding. She acted as if I were her worst enemy.
In any case, I'll have to remain out of this. You must resolve this issue on your own. I'm very busy with work right now, and I also have to prepare for our unexpected move. I don't want to irritate Helen right now, when we're both stressed. Could you please do what she says for the time being?
So you're saying we won't be able to see or communicate with Dorothy at all? Dorothy is our granddaughter.
Yes, I know you'd like to see her. I also want to give you guys more opportunities to view her. Would you be willing to wait just a little longer? Helen is under a lot of stress these days, so I'd like to leave her alone. Please, Mom. I'm confident that once we get settled after the relocation, everything will fall into place.
Okay, then. I'll make an effort to wait a little longer. However, if she insults me again, I'm not going to let it go, okay?
That's okay. If she insults you again, tell her how you feel.
I realize you're probably quite busy right now, but I hope you'll be able to chat to her soon. I don't want my relationship with her to deteriorate more.
We just moved into our new home today. Never send us another strange gift again.
I don't recall ever sending you guys a strange package. Are you genuinely not going to tell me where you and your family have relocated? I believe it is prudent for you to notify me of your new address in case of an emergency. I'm not going to pay you a surprise visit without first informing you.
In the event of an emergency, I do not intend to rely on you. I don't intend to contact you because you're a total stranger to me.
So you're serious about this?
I truly am. Money is the only thing I will accept from you. You will only be able to communicate with Dorothy by sending us money. With your money, I'll make sure to purchase her some pleasant stuff.
I'm not going to waste my time arguing with you any longer. It doesn't appear that you're going to change your mind. Everything you've said to me has left me quite disappointed. I can't take any more of this from you.
So you've finally begun to expose your genuine self.
What do you mean?
I knew you didn't like me. You despise me, don't you? That's why you continued attempting to irritate me with those strange deliveries. This is why I've always despised having a mother-in-law.
That is all your imagination. I didn't do anything wrong to you.
I don't give a damn what you say anymore. I know you despise me. I'm not going to notify anyone about our new address. I'll also never let you see Dorothy again. The only payment I will accept from you is $800 at the beginning of each month.
That's all right. I'm going to get started right now. Goodbye.
Will you finally leave us alone? I'm overjoyed right now.
I'll do as you say. You don't want us to keep in touch, do you?
Exactly. Please do not contact me in the future.
That's all right with me. Goodbye forever.
Please stop sending us packages. I'm not going to tell you our new address. This month, I have yet to receive your financial assistance. What exactly is going on? What happened to the $800 you owed us? I thought I told you I'd take your money. Is it true that you're ignoring me? Unbelievable. I can't believe you've continued to ignore me. How could you go an entire month without responding to me? If you don't take care, I'll get angry at you.
What in the world do you expect me to do?
So you finally responded to me. What were you up to all this time? You responded far too slowly. I have yet to receive cash assistance for the previous month. Where is the $800?
I simply ceased contacting you as you instructed. I disregarded your messages since I assumed we wouldn't stay in touch. I also chose to discontinue financial assistance to you. What made you think I'd keep paying you money after the way you treated me?
I said I'd take the money. I can't believe you ignored me after so many texts. I assumed you were my mother-in-law. Why didn't you text me anymore?
I have no notion what you want me to do now. I'm sick of having to deal with you. I don't think we'll be able to get along. All I did was follow your instructions. You requested that I cease all touch with you.
I never told you to stop sending money. I heard you're still sending money to John and his wife. It's simply not fair. What do you believe? Are you staring down on me? Could you please send me the money right away?
You can't be serious, can you? I believe it is self-evident why I am solely sending money to John's family. They all treat me with dignity, and I get along with them all. They pay us visits from time to time and allow us to pay them visits whenever we wish. We have a fantastic relationship, which is why I send them money every month to help them. You do nothing but offend me and keep me from seeing Dorothy. Why did you expect me to send you money?
I can't believe you'd just ignore us. Would you like to spend the money right away?
Stop being so upset with me. Take a deep breath in and relax. Do you have any recollection of what you said to me the other day?
Why are you so difficult to approach? I'm not sure what you're trying to tell me.
I'm curious whether you recall what you said to me the other day. You said I should never contact you again. You also instructed me not to send you anything else in the future. After hearing that, I'm not sure I want to send any money.
I'm not concerned with what you think. If you do not send the money, my family will be in difficulties. Even with your financial assistance, we were barely getting by.
If that's the case, you should have shown me more courtesy. Even if you despise me, you could have allowed me to see Dorothy on occasion. We could have worked things out such that we were both happy. I also discovered that you had not informed Alan about the money I was providing you guys. When I asked him about it, he had no idea what I was on about.
I'm not sure why he doesn't realize. Perhaps he was not paying attention.
It's pointless to pretend any longer. Alan has told me everything. I was sending you money to help with the expenses of parenting Dorothy. I didn't send you that money to put in your pocket. I can't believe you were so greedy with that money.
That is not correct. I spent some of the money on myself on occasion to ease stress. You should know that parenting a child is quite stressful. I need to do some activities that I enjoy every now and again. Do you get what I mean?
I understand that raising a child might be tough, but that doesn't excuse your actions. You spent all of the money we sent you on yourself without informing Alan. I can't believe you're expecting me to give you more money when I can't even see Dorothy. What a horrible person you are. I still can't believe Alan married someone like you.
Okay, I suppose I'll make an exception for you. If you continue to send me money every month, I'll let you see Dorothy whenever you want. You are welcome to visit us on occasion if it makes you happy.
No, thanks. It's all right now.
What happened? I'm giving you precisely what you desire.
Alan and I had a lengthy conversation about you. I heard you barely do any cleaning and don't contribute anything to Dorothy's upbringing. You spend your weekends with your pals and don't even come home at night some days. I told Alan that if you're not home on weekends, he could bring Dorothy over. I've decided to provide Alan my financial support when I see him. I'm going to cease giving you money because I don't trust you.
Wait, there's no use in doing that. If you give the money to Alan, I won't be able to buy the cosmetics and clothes I want. You handed me the only money I could spend freely.
What do you mean? I know you have complete control over all of Alan's earnings.
I have power over the money, yet it is useless. He barely makes any money, so I don't have any to spend. All of his earnings go toward our living bills and rent. Stop babbling and just hand me the money.
I still can't believe it. You're very strapped for cash, aren't you? You're far more pitiful than I first assumed. I really didn't want to have to do this, but I don't have any other options. I'll have to sever all relations with you.
What exactly does that imply? You're not going to communicate with me any longer? Why do you have to act in that manner?
Do you truly not understand why? Did you really think I'd keep paying you money after all the horrible things you said to me? I'm going to do everything I can to continue to help Alan and Dorothy. However, I am not in the mood to back you up.
Why are you ignoring me?
If you absolutely need assistance, you can turn to your parents. You have no regard for me and do nothing for me. I'll treat you similarly. I'm sure all you really want from me is my money. I will never give or send you anything else again. You must be overjoyed right now, don't you? You've finally gotten your want. So that's all I have to say to you. Please do not contact me again. I will never send you money again. If you really need the money, get a job.
Helen was devastated when she learned that she would no longer be receiving financial assistance. Alan was taken aback by his mother and Helen's chats. He had no idea his mother was providing them money at all. Alan was furious at Helen for lying to him about the money and for how she treated his mother. They argue every day, and it may not be long before they divorce. Alan, on the other hand, gets along very well with his mother these days. Alan frequently brings Dorothy to his parents' place, where everyone enjoys seeing her play with her toys. Helen attempted to visit their home one day with Alan and Dorothy, but she was instructed to leave immediately. Helen appears to have no hope of ever being forgiven for the horrible things she has said and done in the past.
It's been a while. Sis, do you remain single? That is pitiful.
I'm single, so what, I guess.
Yeah.
What exactly do you want? I assume you don't have much spare time to bother me with pointless things.
Yes, I am, but unlike my sister who dropped out of school, I recently received my degree from the University of Los Angeles. I want to tell you something essential, but I'm so busy right now.
It is what?
Actually, I will shortly be getting married.
Oh, that's wonderful. Congrats.
Thank you, sis.
Who then is the lucky one? Who is she like? Ethan, I didn't know you had a girlfriend.
Oh, you must be curious. Sis, are you prepared to be envious? LOL.
Please, just let me know.
Actually, I recently became engaged to a brilliant girl who also works for a large corporation. Even my grades are better than hers. Even last year, she took home the President's Award. She is a very beautiful young lady.
Wow, your fiancé is employed by the same business as you. She must be quite brilliant because she also won the President's Award.
We are what you would call a power couple since she is intelligent and successful, haha. Since we both work for large corporations, when we get married, our household income will definitely be more than $100,000.
She works for a large firm and earns a nice salary, which is very wonderful, right?
You see, I was the one who selected her. She is completely apart from my lonely, solitary sister.
What?
You are still unmarried and residing at our parents' house, according to our parents. What a poor individual from the bottom of society, as would be anticipated from someone who dropped out of high school.
What are you saying to your older sister, by the way?
Sis, are you crazy? LOL. Just expressing the facts, please. You still reside at home despite having dropped out of high school, correct? Your situation is dire, sis. You made a terrible decision by leaving high school.
Huh?
You could have been able to join a reputable firm and achieve success like me if you had attended university, just as I did. Your life is being wasted, sis.
Well, you choose that kind of life, therefore it is your own problem. It's not like I picked it voluntarily. If I had the option, I would have attended high school and college as well. But you must be aware that even though I wanted to attend class, I was unable to do so due to some of my classmates harassing me.
You decide to skip class just because some of your classmates excluded you, then. What a ridiculous excuse, LOL. Seriously, if you stop attending school because you were left out by your pals, you have a poor mental state. Selecting such a life just for that motive? Sincerely, I find it incomprehensible.
How difficult it was for me back then, you have no clue.
What did I know about the emotions of a low-life high school dropout like you, and you had the gall to say that? You claim that you quit school because your friends excluded you. You must have a really weak will since you are useless.
What?
Imagine being introduced as a poor, illiterate, mentally frail girlfriend that would be the very worst. How could you possibly handle that? Sincerely, I'm not at all excited about the impending dinner gathering.
An informal party? When do you intend to hold it?
Didn't Mom advise you to keep your schedule open towards the end of the month? At the end of this month, I'm going to introduce everyone to my fiancé. I arranged the dinner gathering in order to accommodate it.
My mother hasn't mentioned anything like to that to me. I won't be leaving till the end of the month, I think.
Wait, sis, you're not returning. Where are you now?
I've been in balance since last week and had intended to stay until the end of the next month.
Are you now embarking on a path of self-discovery? LOL, sis, you're too old for it.
Not at all.
My sister is so pitiful, man. You want to travel, but your budget will only allow you to visit inexpensive Asian nations. That you don't have any money is really sad. Laughably, you're getting further and more behind me.
Anyhow, what should we do regarding the dinner party? I'm considering temporarily returning from Balin.
Nah, it's all right. Everything works out wonderfully, and you are not required to attend the dinner party. I don't want to tell my sister about my fiancé. Actually, it's advantageous that you won't be returning.
Huh?
I'll mention to my fiancé that my sister, a struggling adult and high school dropout, is presently traveling in search of herself. In any case, I doubt I could find anything for my pathetic sister.
Hello, my name is Sarah, and I recently got married to your brother Ethan. I apologize for not notifying you earlier, but I also wanted to inform you.
Have you already married?
We did, indeed. We had supper last night with my parents and these witnesses who signed our marriage license as witnesses. Ethan then asked, why don't we just submit it now? And we did it immediately.
What? Really?
We immediately went to the city hall's reception after supper and handed in the paperwork. Just today, we received a call from the city hall informing us that everything had been approved.
Okay, really? Best wishes on your marriage. Oh, and I apologize for the delayed introduction. Dilly's, Ethan's older sister, here. I'm sorry for the delayed greetings.
Don't stress over it. I understand you're on a quest for self-knowledge. Ha ha.
That's just Ethan chatting idly, I suppose. I'll absolutely come to introduce myself properly when I return to the nation. I'm sorry it took me so long to contact you.
I don't really want to share the same air with my low-life high school dropout sister-in-law, so you don't even have to kind of say hi if you don't want to. Ha ha ha. Ethan told me about you. You abandoned your studies and still reside with your parents, depending on them for everything, is I correct? I don't want to even meet somebody who lives like that because I don't want to share the same air with them.
Hold on, all of them are misperceptions. When I did leave middle school, I now have a respectable career. Although I do live with my parents, I do not rely on them for financial support.
However, how long do you intend to remain with your parents? Your parents have even expressed how irritated they are with you.
Even if you are helping with the living costs, it still isn't enough, and they really just want you to leave. Are you for real? Our parents stated that, right?
Aren't you already old enough to feel embarrassed over upsetting your family? The fact that you can act so brazenly in this circumstance makes me laugh a lot. I doubt it if I were in your shoes. Even at the same degree of shamelessness, I could master it.
I am aware of what my parents stated, but I had no malicious intent.
Well, they claim to be irritated. Being a high school dropout in and of itself is embarrassing. and you're still living at home despite your advanced age. You are unworthy. They even stated that having a daughter who is destined for shame would be preferable to having their son and his wife live with them.
What?
Anyway, we already threw away all of your belongings because my husband and I would be living with our parents. Even if you return to this location, you no longer have a place to stay. LOL. You've just returned from your self-discovery quest, and now you're going to choose a new home to live, HAHA.
Wait a second. What do you mean you disposed of my belongings? Did you just toss up my belongings without asking me to?
Yeah, LOL, we all gathered and cleaned the space. They trashed and damaged everything in an apparent effort to exact retribution.
I find it hard to comprehend how much you despise me. Even though I was living at my parents' house, I actively assisted with the household tasks and gave them money each month for living costs. Although it's likely that they thought my pay was poor, I was actually working hard to get what I was earning for him.
You know it was worthless to do things like pout and complain? Even if you tried to defend it, the situation remains the same. You were simply getting in the way of things, that's all.
I see. Just an inconvenience that I was. I find it incomprehensible that someone I've never even met must speak to me in this manner. Ethan's wife.
Please be aware that I just dislike those who are at the bottom of the heap. Since Ethan and I are elites who work for a large corporation, you should be aware that we are on a different level from you. So from now on, it will be our room.
Why would you act in such a selfish manner?
Most likely, your parents would not have preferred to live with you. And laughed as you threw your belongings away. It was fantastic. Ha ha. Did you have a vendetta or something against me?
That could be accurate. But regardless of what you say, I never finished high school.
I'm glad you can comprehend now. Ha ha. In any case, even if you return to this place, I don't want to see you. So don't go back to our parents' place, please. Your belongings are gone, and even if you return, there is no room for you here.
Oh, that works out great for me after all.
Why do you say that?
I can continue on to my next location without going back. Wow, I'm really grateful you got rid of everything at home because I feel so much lighter today. The best.
What do you mean we got rid of your stuff thanks without even asking you, is that right? How can you be grateful when you can't even return to your parents' home anymore? LOL.
I've decided to move to a new place, and it means I won't be able to help out our parents anymore. They're going for a health checkup soon, and the medical expenses could go up to $10,000. I was hoping that maybe you and I could help them out while I don't have a place to stay.
Are you serious, Dillies? This is your family we're talking about. You have a responsibility to take care of our parents. Besides, Mom and Dad promised to leave the house to Ethan and me, so you're not even allowed to step foot in there. The house doesn't welcome someone like you, who dropped out of school.
I understand that you're angry, Sarah, but please hear me out. I know it's my responsibility to take care of our parents, and I've been doing my best all this time. But circumstances have changed, and I need some support too. Moving to a new place wasn't an easy decision for me. I have my own challenges and financial constraints right now.
I can't believe you're being so selfish, Dillies. Our parents have done so much for us, and now when they need us the most, you want to back out.
I'm not trying to abandon our parents, Sarah. I still love them deeply, and I'll do whatever I can from a distance. I can contribute financially within my means, but I won't be able to provide the same level of physical support as before. I'm hoping you can understand that life isn't always straightforward, and sometimes we have to make difficult choices. Sarah, I can't believe what you just said. As someone living in my parents' house, you should also take responsibility for caring and looking after them. My parents have always considered you as family, but now I'm surprised to realize that you don't seem to acknowledge that.
It's just that I don't have financial responsibility for their care. That doesn't mean I don't worry or invest emotions in our relationship. Your parents, you should take care of yourself. Not related to me.
But Sarah, we've been living together in this house and sharing daily life. My parents have supported you both financially and emotionally. I think we should share the responsibility and contribute to taking care of them together.
Ethan and I are excellent people, graduating from the top school in the country, not like Dilly's, who is always just a servant at the feet of her and her husband.
What? Sarah, you are insulting me already. Sarah, I can't believe you would say something like that so casually. Ethan and you may have excelled and graduated from a top school, but that doesn't give you the right to look down on others. My parents' medical support will send them $5,000. The rest you and Ethan should be responsible for because you're the one living in my parents' house. You should be responsible for this.
That's hilarious. Why should I send money to your parents? I'm not marrying Ethan, so why should I pay? Don't even think about touching my money. That house, I talked to my parents to transfer the property to Ethan. And they agreed to this. And you should move out soon and get somewhere far away from us. Did my parents agree to transfer the property to Ethan? That's right, they don't even care what you think. Try with me to do nothing, now the house is ours.
Hi, Dillies. It's been a while since we talked. What's up?
Great to hear from you. Seems like you have something to tell me. Go ahead.
I actually got laid off from my job because I wasn't performing well. I'm really worried about the future.
Really? Why weren't you doing well in your job?
My work attitude wasn't good, so they fired both me and Sarah. Right now, we're living with our parents and have been unemployed for a while. I was hoping that you could come back and take care of our parents in our place.
Ethan, but I can't do that. I'll only send the money equivalent to what our parents have spent. I have my own career here, and I don't want to give it up.
Dillies, what qualifications do you have to work there? You should come back and take care of our parents.
I apologize for making you angry. Currently, I manage a small restaurant with a salary of $10,000. I don't feel like a failure like you and Sarah, because I always believe I'm right and better than others.
You are just a person with no qualifications, so go back to live with your parents. I won't come back for your unemployment.
Dillies decided not to return to her old home to continue developing her career. After 5 years of continuous work, she also went from manager to branch manager after her efforts, and also found a suitable husband for her. Ethan and Dillies always consider themselves superior to others, so they always look down on those who don't go to high school and don't have a degree, so they constantly have difficulty in their work.
Hi Cora, do you have a minute?
Hi, Deli, how are you? How are your wedding preparations coming along?
That's the thing. You are Ken's mother and I am sorry, but I don't want you to come to our wedding.
Huh? What do you mean? I am the mother of the bridegroom, remember?
But I'm sorry. You are a single mother, right?
Why are you asking me that? I mean, yeah, I have raised him on my own.
Moreover, I heard that your marriage was a shotgun wedding. But you ended up becoming single and raised Ken on your own, didn't you?
That's right, but what does it matter? Are you trying to say that there was something wrong with the way I raised him?
That's not what I mean. But that kind of thing is not good for your reputation to the public.
What? Reputation?
A shotgun wedding that ended in divorce and becoming a single mother is kind of sad and off-putting.
Are you being serious?
Can I say that I don't want my family to know that Ken is from such a family? Frankly, I'm embarrassed by that.
Embarrassed? I don't think Ken would think that way.
No, I'm embarrassed. I haven't told my parents or friends about this. So if you don't come to the wedding, I won't have to explain to everyone. I'm trying to avoid the hassle. I want you to pretend that you and Tim are disconnected, so please don't come to the wedding.
Ken is my only son. Did he agree to this?
I haven't told them yet. Don't tell him anything unnecessary. I will explain it to him.
You can't do that. Your actions are the same as denying my existence.
Well, I guess that's true. Because he is on a career path and on his way up the corporate ladder. But you're not. From now on, you will only be his baggage.
Baggage? I thought I had raised my son well so far, even though he had a single parent. I never thought I would hear this from someone who's going to be my son's wife.
Well, to be honest, I looked down on you ever since I found out that you were a single mother. That's why I don't want to invite you to my wedding. It's too miserable to be a woman whose husband ran away from her after a shotgun marriage.
Huh? You didn't hear anything from Ken.
Because it's taboo among us to talk about you. I don't want to hear a story about some poor, miserable woman. And when I hear it, I don't know how to respond. It darkens my mood.
How can you say these things? Moreover, Ken is a good, family-oriented guy, and I don't think he would ever think like that.
He's fine without you. He has a connection through his work, and I got a free dress from a world-famous designer. So we don't need your help at all.
You haven't heard that story properly from him either. You should have a proper talk with him before you speak to me this way.
It's a waste of time to have that kind of conversation with him. It's too embarrassing that you got a shotgun wedding and became a single mother. This is how I feel, and Ken should agree with me. Therefore, I will not invite you.
You should talk to Ken. There is nothing more I can say to you. I suggest you have a proper talk with him before you do something you'll regret. Hey, Ken. About your fiancé, Deli. Has she said anything strange to you?
What? Deli? Nothing in particular, no. What's wrong? Did she do something?
About the dress, about your father. Are you talking to her properly?
I'm trying to talk, but she won't listen to me. She doesn't want to hear about it, especially when it comes to my family. But I'll tell her before the wedding.
You'd better. He seems to be wrong about a lot of things.
She's the type of person who, when she gets an idea, just goes with it. Well, that's one of the cute things about her, but I have to admit, she's a bit of a handful sometimes.
I see. If you're happy, that's good, but... Anyway, please explain things to her properly.
You're right. She and I are going to be a family from now on, and I have to explain it to her. I'll have to tell her not to say anything bad towards you.
She's already said something to me.
What? What did she say?
It's nothing. Well, I know you're busy with your work, but don't overdo it.
Hey, you're not planning on coming to the wedding, are you?
Huh? You still haven't talked to Ken properly, have you?
No, but that's not the point. Whether I talk to him or not, I'm not allowing you to come to my wedding.
Why do you hate me so much? Maybe you should listen to what people say.
I don't want someone with your background and reputation at my wedding.
You really are rude. You seem unwilling to listen.
I told you I don't want to hear it. You'll ruin the wedding, so please don't come.
Oh, okay. Then I won't go.
I don't want to speak with you after this either.
Do as you please. I know you're a crazy person, but I put up with you because you were the one Ken chose. I am no longer interested in you. If you want to disassociate yourself for me, you can do so. I have no problem at all.
I'll do so then. This has taken a lot of the burden off of us. Goodbye. Don't come to my wedding, shameful woman.
Goodbye. You don't have to contact me anymore.
Hey, Cora. Would you please pick up the phone?
Who is this?
It's me, Deli.
You have no right to call me by my first name. We're strangers.
I'm sorry for everything. Really? You can come to the wedding today, right?
No, I don't intend to.
What? Why?
Because you told me so yesterday. Moreover, you were very rude and outspoken to me. I only did you a favor not attending the wedding. What's the problem?
I didn't know about the dress.
Oh, I see. It was a shame to learn on the day of the wedding that the world-class designer Ken was referring to was me.
I'm so sorry, Cora. I can't believe I was going to have you bring me a dress that you designed.
I told you, don't call me by my first name. I don't intend to become family with you.
Please don't say that. Ken said he was planning this dress thing to be a surprise. So he didn't tell me. So this is not my fault.
That being said, it's not a right to blame Ken. Regardless of the circumstances, the fact remains that you are super rude and disrespectful to me. Nothing you say now will change my mind.
Please don't say that. I can't have a wedding without a dress. Where's my dress?
It has already been delivered to the venue. I am a professional. I would not personally deliver a dress. But I don't think you need that anymore.
What? What do you mean?
I just heard from Ken. He said the wedding is going to be cancelled.
What? I didn't hear that.
You never listen, do you? I'm sure he was telling you exactly what he was doing this time, too.
No, you're kidding, right? I didn't think he meant it. It must be a joke.
Ken has already contacted the guests on his side of the table. You two need to contact yours as soon as possible, or your guests will arrive at the wedding venue. I think they might get a little upset with you.
Wait a minute. I really didn't think the wedding would be cancelled. I think Ken got too emotional. If he calms down, he will understand.
He has a calm personality. He is not the kind of person who judges things emotionally. He's properly informed his invited guests that the wedding is cancelled. I guess he has completely lost all intention of marrying you.
Oh no. You have to talk him out of it. Please do something.
What do you want me to talk to him about?
You have to convince him to marry me. Suddenly canceling on the day of the wedding is just cruel.
How dare you ask me for a favor? Do you remember what you said to me?
That doesn't matter now. If I can marry him, I will apologize to you afterward.
You're a real piece of work. I have no intention of helping you at all. You caused this, so you have to take care of it yourself.
Huh? You won't help me?
You and I are strangers. And it seems to me that I should prevent him from marrying you, to protect my own son.
Why do you say that?
He would have regretted it if he got married to you. He's still young, so he's still so naive. Oh, and while we're on the subject, please take care of the dress fee, okay?
What?
If you were to marry him, I would have given you the dress as a gift. But now that the wedding is cancelled because of you, you will pay for the dress that I was going to gift you.
The wedding is really cancelled?
I'm sure Ken has explained that to you as well. You must have signed a contract.
He might have mentioned it.
It's obvious. The dresses I design are expensive. Just because you're my son's bride doesn't make you safe. In the contract, it also mentions if the wedding is cancelled, that there would be a cancellation fee in that case.
I didn't read the whole thing. I didn't know.
It's your own fault, right? I will charge you the full amount as stated in the contract.
What? How much is that going to be?
That's about 3 years of your annual income, I guess.
I just quit my job. How dare you?
Then you'll have to work again. By the way, I don't blame you for not listening to Ken properly. But I was a single mother because my husband passed away. And yet you look down on me that I got a shotgun wedding. You should be a little ashamed of your little outbursts.
Huh? I didn't know. I'm so sorry.
You should reflect on yourself and stop judging people without even knowing them well. Well then, before you embarrass yourself, you might want to inform your guests that the wedding has been cancelled. Goodbye, you shameful woman. When Deli learned of all the circumstances, she was in a panic. She pleaded with Heather to come to the wedding, but was ignored. Moreover, Ken, the groom, also found out about Deli's true nature. He called off the wedding. The cost of canceling the wedding was to be split between them. But Deli ended up being charged the fee for the dress as well. And the big house they were going to live in, it was to be sold off, and Deli was devastated. She shamelessly asked the company she left because she was getting married to hire her again. She was then laughed at by people at work. Her ego was ruined. She was also very upset, but it was too late to regret it. Heather is glad she was able to stop her precious son from marrying an evil. She later moved abroad and forgot all about Deli. She is now able to focus on her work. When will Deli finish paying off her dress debt?